Start doing some pregame, a little behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Kind of show you what I'm thinking here. The most expensive homeowner's mistake. Well, we'll just have to play with it and see.
Okay.
I think look and see the way that the.
They gotta. Okay. All right. Hey, we're on this cam right here.
Okay.
If you just want to do a little shout out,
Do a shout out, rock and roll.
That thing.
Clap it.
Okay. Mirage Custom Pools.
There you go.
There we go. Love it. Good. Okay. Wow, what a day. Thanks for coming out here for the podcast, the Founders Lounge podcast. I really appreciate you making time for this. I know the pool industry's got to be insane. Summer's coming here in DFW.
It's getting hot.
It is getting hot now. So real quick intro. I'm Brent Tinsley. I'm one of your hosts today. I'm the founder of Headshot Professional. We make people look better online, and we teach people how to be confident on camera. Most people hate getting their picture taken. Just dealt with a huge group of women that didn't want their picture taken. That's 95% of the people I work with don't want to be. They don't actually want to hire me. It's kind of a weird job, but
yeah.
Alex, go ahead and roll it off here.
Alex with YOLO Nerd, owner and founder. We build custom CRMs and we do automation for businesses. Let's go. And if you're not automating, you're not dominating.
Tom Hawk, Mirage Custom Pools, owner and founder, along with my brother, David, and build custom swimming pools, outdoor kitchens, outdoor environments, roof structures, renovate pools, you name it.
There you go.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah. Shoot, I'm just going to get right out the bat. During the pandemic, I know so many people, it took them like a year to 2 years to build a pool. Well, I mean, was it amazing for business? Was it tough? I mean, how was the pandemic for you?
It was extremely tough. We basically, there was more pools being built than there was availability of workers. And there also was material shortages. We had situations where, materials for the pool were sitting offshore of the port of Long Beach.
Oh, I was actually, I was in Long Beach for the Grand Prix, and at the port, you could see the ships
just hanging out.
Hanging out. I mean, they couldn't get in, and even trucks. So I actually met a lady. She had a Sprinter van she bought because she could get in there, kind of skip the line, grab stuff, and she was just trying to buy Sprinter vans. That's it. Yeah, just to run, because you could get in there and you can get out. But all the big trucks had to wait. I mean, it was insane. It was insane just getting some materials in on the West Coast.
Yeah. Well, we had situations where we were told that materials were on the ship, but that wasn't going to be porting for, getting into port for a couple weeks. And then it would come in, and then we'd find out that the materials weren't on that ship.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
And yeah, so it was definitely challenging. A lot of the homeowners that, we dealt with at that time, we had to get, for example, waterline tiles, something that's real simple, easily available, and they would make 3 tile choices and saying, here's your number 1, here's your number 2, number 3, if we can get it. And a lot of times we had them to come in to pick number 4 and 5.
Wow. And doing custom work, that's tough.
Oh, it's real tough.
This isn't just spec, hey, whatever's over down the street.
Right. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. So it was definitely very challenging, to say the least. But fortunately, things have gotten a lot better.
I had an amazing opportunity to get to know Mirage Custom Pools in the last couple of weeks, and some of the pools they make it's prime. And so one of the questions I have to ask, what is some of the biggest mistakes that a homeowner does by trying to acquire a new pool?
Probably, I would have to say going with the cheapest bid.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive mistake they make. First of all, when you're buying a swimming pool, it's not like buying a car where you can go and kick the tires, take a look at the car, see that it's got no scratches, take it for a test drive and know that the car is what you want. What you're buying is a plan, a design, and a company to actually manage that project. When I put together a plan, somebody else has a plan that looks exactly like it. It may be 15 to 20% price difference. But there's ways that builders can hide cost savings underground that you'll never know about if you're not familiar with the construction industry.
Wow.
It's really difficult when we run across a customer that's had a bad experience where they've had a builder that they've just had an unfortunate situation and they're bringing us in to try to resurrect the project, to get it back in line. And what we end up having to do is undo a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, it's never a fun situation when they're in that. And so really, you know, my advice to anybody is make sure that you're comfortable with whoever that you're hiring, because, you know, for 6 to 8 to 12 week process that the pool's under construction, you know, you're married to that person. And if they're not looking out for your best interest, which is really what a homeowner should expect. You know, the workers are out there doing what they're doing, but us as the contractor, they hire us to build the pool the way we would want the pool built if it was in our house. So I know what good looking work looks like, the right way to plumb a pool, the right way to do the steel. If a
Managing the
homeowner's
rebar, the gunite, I mean, you got a lot of electrical, you got a lot of moving parts and pieces. No, I mean, I grew up doing vinyl siding in Alabama, and I mean, you would also hear a lot of people that can't see it from my house.
Yeah.
You know, there's areas where people may not see that work, and we would always come in because we're finishing everything. You would see carpenters, that stuff's not square, it's not finished properly.
Right.
You know, and they're like, "What's for the next guy? The next guy can fix it."
Yeah.
You know, and there's a whole series of steps of different subs. Everyone's a different specialty, and the average homeowner is not going to know how to manage all that. I mean, it's a lot of different parts and pieces. You know, and you want these people to all be vetted for. I mean, someone with a lot of great reviews like you guys have a lot of good experience handling complex projects.
Well, it's a lot of the workers out there are being used by a lot of different builders. It really comes down to what's that builder going to, or that contractor going to hold that worker, you know, are they going to hold them to the quality and the standards that the homeowner expects, especially with a purchase of this magnitude, you know?
Last year, my wife, she showed me National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Awesome movie, Chevy
Love
Chase.
that movie.
You know, and so when I think about, you know, how he wants the pool in the backyard, he envisions the pool and his family having a good time. And so now my next question is going to be, how should someone budget for a pool?
A couple different things. It depends on. There's a couple different questions that I got to ask when somebody asks me that. I mean, if you're going to be in the house for 3 to 5 years and then you're moving on, okay, I'm going to have one answer for you. But now, if this is your forever home, and then I'm going to have another answer. If you're going to be in the house for 5 to 6 years and then you're going to be moving on, what I tell folks is to try to keep around 20% of the appraised value of your house in the backyard. Okay, so if you've got a $500,000 house and you put a $100,000 pool in that backyard, then that pool is going to match that house. It's going to have the amenities that somebody would expect walking in the backyard.
That makes sense. You're talking about like a ratio. So if it's a fifth of the value of the overall appraised value, it matches.
Right.
You don't want to be coming in way too hot or way too low.
Well, I mean, if you take a $250,000 house and put a $250,000 pool in the backyard,
outdoor kitchen.
I can't imagine what
it's not going to add to the value. It's not going to add to the sell.
Somebody coming in and buying that home, they're gonna. I mean, they'll be wowed by the backyard. Don't get me wrong, but you know, if you've got a $2 million home and you've got a $50,000 pool in the backyard, somebody coming in and looking at that house is going to be expecting the outdoor kitchen. They're going to expect the fire pit, the water features, the hot tub.
It needs to match that.
Yeah, and if you just have a basic kidney bean pool out there, you know, it's going to be a drag on the house, not an asset to it. So
that's an interesting way to look at it. But a basic rule of thumb is 20%.
I try to stick it at 20% because,
20%.
and that's if you're going to be there 5 to 6 years. But myself personally, I've been in my house for 26 years and I built my pool 23 years ago. And let me tell you something, I've got a nice home, but my backyard is knocked out. I mean, it's got outdoor kitchen, fire pit. And so when you walk into my backyard, I mean, it's definitely overbuilt for the house, but you know, that's my castle. And you know, my wife and I spend quite a bit of time out around the pool. You know, we watch TV out back, you know, around the pool. We have heaters out there underneath. So even when it's cold out,
so you got electric heaters, you can enjoy it. You got the insect control, you've got sprayers, misters, fans,
waterfalls.
You get to really enjoy the outdoors.
Yes. Yeah.
What would you say is is something that most companies don't tell their customers? If you can give us a tip.
In North Texas, we've got expansive soil. Okay. And
Contraction, expansion.
Expansion, contraction. And when you, every swimming pool builder's contract has exclusions for damage due to soil movement, mine included. Okay. So the cities do not require us to hire an engineer. In most areas of town.
I would never think about that.
Yeah. So you go and you spend $150,000 in your backyard. If you don't, if that ground starts moving and that pool starts shucking and jiving, that's not covered under warranty because there's really nothing we can do. There is no magic bullet to prevent soil movement and damage caused by it, but there's things that you can do to mitigate that risk. And so what I tell my customers is hire an engineer. I consider myself a lot like a nurse. I've seen a lot. I can pretty much know based upon soil conditions what you should do. But it's kind of like one of these deals. If you have a spot on your arm and you think it might be cancer, and if you're a nurse, you look at it and you think, that might be cancer, but go see an oncologist, right? I mean, so the engineer is that doctor. That's who you want in there looking out for your best interest. And when we work with the engineers, what we want them to do is to tell us what to do and guide us and also inspect our work and make sure that the work is done properly before we cover things up. And having that extra layer of protection is just really critical.
Dude, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, I know pools are sexy, kind of. I don't know. I mean, it was crazy during COVID how many people just wanted to invest. I don't know. I just saw so many people doing it. That's more the most recent of people going out full custom. I know so many people that really went all out. What do you think are the two biggest, or say three of the biggest reasons, that people really want to invest that much money in their backyard? It's just their castle, their home. They don't want to do the man cave. People just love the outdoors. Because, even for me, I'm not from here. I lived in the Gulf. I lived in Florida. There's not a lot of outdoor activities in DFW.
Right.
I mean, there's a little bit, but there's not a lot. Even around here in the whole Mid-Cities area, right now we're in Grapevine, there's only a few restaurants that even have outdoor seating because it's either too hot or too cold.
I mean, everybody drives to Galveston or, South Padre Island. You get to a beach somewhere.
For me, I love being outside. I feel like that's got to be a big draw for here. And so many people have transplanted. So many people have moved here from other areas. Yeah. You have so many communities that have grown here. The size of homes, the home appraised value has gone up so much. So I think... Is that? I mean, how do you see the trends have shifted, and what are the main reasons people are really going in doing custom pools? And
really, in North Texas, it gets so extreme here. The heat gets so extreme that I mean, come on, when it's 105 degrees, and there's a lot of days where it's over 100 degrees. When it's over 100 degrees, you either got to be in water or you got to be in air conditioning. So you're either sitting in the house watching TV or you're going mall walking, right? I mean, or if you're fortunate enough to have a boat on the lake.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a swimming pool in your backyard, there's really not a whole heck of a lot for you to do. And myself personally, I look forward to the hot weather because that's my wife and I are entertaining, having people over. We pop out the umbrellas and get all the shade. Being in the 50s, in our 50s, we got to watch the sun and with the sun cancer. But we're out hanging out and having drinks and listening to music and floating around the swimming pool on Saturdays and Sundays, and it really adds to our life, and we look forward to it. And both of us hate wintertime.
Hey, I married an Iowan, so I was in Iowa for 4 years. So
I don't like that white stuff.
Brutal cold. Brutal.
Let's go back. Let's go way back. You guys got history. I didn't realize how much history. You guys opened back in early 2000s, right? What?
Yeah, but I don't think you understand quite the history that we
have,
okay.
So let's go. How did Mirage Custom Pools get started?
Way back when, and this is not Mirage Custom Pools. It's the Hawk family that's in the pool business. I've actually got 3 brothers. David and I own Mirage Custom Pools, and we're partners in it.
Yeah.
My oldest brother Robbie started Hawk Custom Pools up in Salina.
Wow.
And he's recently stepped down and retired. And then my youngest brother, who worked for us for many, many years, he stepped out and started H2 Pools, which Not advertising for Hawk Custom Pools or H2. It's just our family. We're been in the pool business for quite some time.
Oh wow!
And even going further back, all four of us are in the pool business. And in the early 2000s when we started, after we had been 3 or 4 years down the road, my dad decided to enlighten us that he actually had a pool company when he was younger. And he actually
was he a pool boy, or he
no.
had a pool building?
No, what he did is my grandfather had an agricultural supply business.
Oh, really?
He installed grain silos and whatnot. And well, my father, when he was 16, wanted a swimming pool, and my grandfather said, "There's no way he's paying for a swimming pool." So my father took a grain silo and basically buried it in the ground and created essentially a swimming pool, and started a pool company, which is actually Baker Pools in St. Louis. It's still in business today. He actually built a pool for NASA that they used for the Apollo space program. They were we have pictures.
Oh, where they do the
space
training down in the water. And
yeah,
oh, that's really cool.
Do the submersion
capsules.
training.
Yeah. So but we were actually in the pool business for, like I say, for 3-4 years before my father.
It's like a
decided to
generational
enlighten
thing,
us.
man. Like
He didn't even tell you.
He didn't tell us, and then all of a sudden he started seeing pictures of his old pool. So we have some of his old pool pictures, and but back then they weren't anywhere near as elaborate as they are today. I mean, there was no outdoor kitchens and fire pits and water features. It was just a circular, grain silo sunk in the ground, and really not a whole, and a little bit of deck around it.
So, like, you go in, you do a full custom pool. Depending on the layout, land, everything else, like, is a sun deck area? What's that little shallow area? Is it a sunning deck? What do you call that?
Sun deck or tanning ledge.
Tanning ledge.
is that kind of where the water's a little bit shallow?
It's a little bit more shallow. You can put the
shallow.
chairs there.
6 to 8 inches of water. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is that something you see more common now here?
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge request.
I've seen it like down in Cancun, like it's like to wash your feet off sand, or you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but they have even just you're in the water, but you're not. Like I mean, is the chair submerged? Like, do you have a little bit?
Yeah,
of
a little bit of water. And
Yeah, a little bit of
There's like a little bit of water, but you're pretty much you're not all the way in. You're just you're just
Well, I
kind of there.
use it a couple different ways. I mean, myself personally, I have my float, and I'll basically beach myself on the tanning ledge to keep me from floating
Just
around.
kind of park it.
Yeah, and in our pool, we actually have what we call our party.
That's Mark.
You got to hear this story though. We have what we call the party pooper chair, and it's a chair where you can sit in it fully clothed, just kick your shoes off because it's just your feet are in the water.
Yeah.
And it's for the occasionally, when we have a guest that comes over and wants to visit with us but doesn't want to get into the pool with us, and so we have the party pooper chair where it's on the tanning ledge to where they can sit there with their feet in the water. So
Still be comfortable.
oh
and
yeah,
hang. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's definitely a must to have in a swimming pool.
What about like I mean, I get them Mexico and places. You got the bars where you can kind of come up with the chairs.
Oh, they
like
have
the stools that are
that's
submerged.
some of the pools that they have when some
Yeah,
of the
we
pictures,
just-
some of the stuff they're doing right, and some of the video that Gus is doing out there, Next Gen Media. Dude, they have some of those cool where those cool pools where you swim up to the bar, and the stool's like in the water.
You're right in there.
You're right in
We
there.
actually did just completed probably about 6 months ago a project and that Gus videoed where we actually had bar stools in the hot tub. So, and it's covered by the roof structure, and then there's the kitchen on the other
No
opposite
way.
side.
I want to think about that.
And so you can actually, during the winter time, he was able to his buddies sit in the heated hot tub on a bar stool, and then have the bar there to where they could be served drinks and whatnot. So that is really cool to do.
That is cool.
That is really cool. What would you say back in the early days when you guys started for Mirage Custom Pools? Maybe I know you've already done a lot of projects. You've been doing this for years, but what would you say one of the hardest moments for Mirage Custom Pools?
Oh, it's early on learning from your mistakes.
Amen.
Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so you go through it, and so we've been doing this for 24 years now, and early on, there was times to where. Fortunately, we had my oldest brother Robbie to fall back on, so he was always available to us if we had questions or whatnot. He pretty much trained us. He was the ground blazer.
And this is the guy in Louisiana.
No. Hawk Custom Pools.
No,
He's
Salina?
when he started-
Salina.
Salina.
Salina. Okay. Oh, Salina. Okay.
Up in North Dallas. So
Got it.
yeah. So it's just taking those early lumps,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Well, because they can be costly. I mean, yeah, pools. It's it could be a water leak you can't hunt down. Again, it could be structural things, and then once everything, especially you put all the cool deck, everything's finished, and you guys start trying to hunt things down. I mean, you're cutting into stuff. I mean,
Well, really, what it boils down to is you know, I don't want to build something. I may have different tastes than a customer. I may like more rock boulders where somebody else wants the more contemporary look, or you know, they have different tastes. But for me, it's really making sure that you know, how would I build it if I wanted what they want, you know? And so a lot of times, you know, we get moving down the road on a project, and you know, I go out there and I start taking a look at it and thinking, you know, I wouldn't have this in my backyard, so let's tear it apart and do over. And I've had situations where homeowners have been, why are you tearing it apart? I'm like, well, I didn't like it. You know, it didn't look right, right? I mean, so, and they're like, well, it looked fine to me. And I'm like, well, you know, didn't look good to me. So, but that's difficult to do. And
Come up with a sledgehammer.
well, and that's the reason why we subcontract most of the work out.
Yeah.
So I pay for good quality work. And if it's not good quality work, it costs me nothing to make it right. Okay. So there's a lot of builders out there that might, you know, have crews in house, and they may, you know, try to find the cheapest guy out there, and they'll
Which
say,
always never works out.
well,
at
it
all.
doesn't
Yeah.
really. Well,
No.
but you'd be surprised the percentages out there. I mean, you know, I've talked to stonemasons that, for example, that'll say, you know, this XYZ builder over here doesn't make me redo things. I mean, I do it, and I'm done and out of here. I get paid and I'm out. And my thing is, I'll pay you extra, but I want it right. And if I don't like it, I want it torn apart, and I don't want to hear about, you know, I don't want to hear about the pains. You know, it's just got to be right.
Right.
Yeah. Do it right the first time.
I think we've all had that one client or that situation where it's like, man, did you ever find yourself at a time where, as a founder, I think I'm done. I don't want to continue doing this. I want to quit. You ever find that time back in your days?
Oh, gosh. Well, there's always tough, challenging times. You know, we have our fair share of challenging customers.
Yeah.
You know, just like anybody does. But you know, my opinion is quitters never win, winners never quit. You just, you know, quitting is not an option. Failure is not an option.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to, you know, pick yourself up, you know, and dust yourself off and get back after it.
Finish it off. But would you go back for seconds, or do you kind of steer clear after that? Are you a glutton for pain?
You'll learn. No, you'll learn. You'll learn.
I definitely have points of where clients now. I'm kind of like, no, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, extra grace.
You can't even pay me enough.
EGR's extra grace required. Yeah.
Even if I charge you triple, it's not worth it. It's just
Well,
not.
you know, people. You know, there's when people are going through construction.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, it's for me, the 6 to 8 weeks just flies by. But I just
for them it feels forever.
Yeah, I got finished renovating my pool last spring.
Oh, really?
And it took me about 8 weeks to
Hey, you
do
know where
it.
we're going?
Summer.
But eight weeks into it, and my wife
I'll bring some beer and the hot dogs.
yeah, but my wife was calling me up, Tom, when are they going to be over here to do this? When are they? And she drove me nuts about it because she got tired of looking at it, and I got tired of looking at it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's because what do? We come into your backyard, which is probably okay looking, and we blow it up, make it look terrible. There's dirt everywhere. You know, you got you know, mud in your driveway, and
It's getting in the house, angry wife.
yeah. It's sausage talk, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see the sausage being made, but boy, does it taste good once it's finished, right? And so you know, it's definitely challenging under ideal circumstances to live through construction. So I am sympathetic.
So anybody that's interested in, you know, building a pool, they're interested in looking at their backyard like Chevy Chase and imagining
Right.
their pool dream, you know. So what does it look like for a lead to come in, get a consultation to completion. How long? You said anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, an average, depending on pool size. What do you walk us through that?
From the time that a prospective homeowner or a prospective client just says, Mirage, we're going with you, and we get the contract signed. At that point in time, we have to start submitting for permits.
Oh, that's fun.
So that's usually 2 to 3 weeks to get through the permitting phase. Sometimes if you're in a homeowner association, the homeowner has to actually submit it for approval there. So usually it takes about 30 days before we can, shovel the ground.
Got it.
And so from shoveling the ground to completion on a pool spa combination, 6 to 8 weeks. You start adding a kitchen and a roof structure and some other things, you're tacking on another 30 days or so. So most of our projects average 8 to 12 weeks depending on the complexity of it.
If you're going kitchen, you're always running natural gas, electric, it just depends on what's available at the property.
Natural gas lines. We're obviously putting power in.
Or if you don't have natural gas, you have propane y'all build in for tanks, like for grilling or.
Yeah, you can do it on propane, but most municipalities around town have.
You've got plenty of access to natural gas.
Yeah,
it's Texas, man. There's gas everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, let's get the fracking going.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome, man. So let's kind of go back into a lot of your leads. Where do they come from? Are you getting a lot of referral leads? Because it seems like you guys have been around for a long time. And do you get a lot of, hey, you did my pool, Tom. Can you come and service my pool every year before summer starts? Is that how it is?
We a lot of times, we've got customers that we've built 4 pools for. So a lot of repeat business, and of course we doing it for 24 years. We got a lot of pools that are been time for renovation. So redoing the tile and the plaster and the coping, and a lot of those older pools were more natural, Oklahoma flagstone, rock waterfalls.
Yeah.
And now the tendency tends to be more of a clean contemporary pool. So, we've been doing
more modern, slick look. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But primarily word of mouth. I mean, that's really where we get a lot of our customers. That's where we find we get the best customers too. So,
well, I can attest to that for sure. When someone's already vetted you and you also vet them as well,
Mm-hmm.
I always ask my clients, like, do I want to work with them? I don't know. Like, well, because I'm dealing with a very weird business. Like, people hate what I do.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a necessary evil of the corporate world, People
you gotta make them look
good.
good.
Yeah.
You gotta make them look good. Right?
Yeah. That's an interesting business for sure. Oh man, today was wild.
And so do you only focus in Dallas, right? The DFW area?
Yeah, DFW.
Okay. How far will you guys go?
Well, I always jokingly say, if you've got a check and want to hand me money, I will travel. But pretty much the immediate Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah, so 200 really, cities radius here.
Yes. And really what I tell folks, I mean, we've had, we've built some pools in East Texas, like during the winter time when times are slower. But what we have to do is we really have to ask ourselves the question, can we properly service this customer? And if they're 2.5 hours away and it's the middle of July, they're not going to get the hand holding. And so a lot of times when I get situations like that where they're referrals, what I'll tell them is, hey, send me your designs that you're getting. I've talked to other builders before and then told them, hey, he's treating you well. He's going to do you a good job. And so I've actually, consulted,
like a light consulting type of.
Yeah. I've not charged anybody for it, but the bottom line is if I'm not able to properly take care of somebody, then I'm not doing them justice by taking on their project.
So for 2026, what are some of the hottest trends you see happening right now for outdoor pool building in North Texas? I mean, this economy is blowing up. People are moving here.
I know.
It's insane. Like, what are the hottest trends you're seeing for 2026?
Well, it's the full on outdoor entertainment experience. So you'd mentioned Christmas vacation. That's I tell a lot of times I'll tell folks, you're not buying a swimming pool. You're buying an experience.
There you go.
So when Chevy Chase is looking out in the backyard, what is he seeing? He's seeing his kids.
You're not seeing the pool. You're actually seeing his family and everybody
It's-
having a good time at his pool.
It's those experiences, right? And so anything that you can put out there that will enhance that experience, extend it, because really, ultimately, this is our castles, right? And it's where we spend most of our time. And a lot of folks will have staycations instead of going off to Disney World or going off to the beach. They have their friends and their family come in town and they throw big parties and it's.
I mean, for the cost of a timeshare, you could easily finance a pool in your backyard. I mean,
yeah.
Why have to go fly somewhere and you can go and have your own vacation in your backyard?
Yeah, even with financing, some of the projects, start off with $500 to $600 a month.
That's not bad.
It's less than a lot of car payments out there, right? And then you've got.
I bet folks have more. Their car payments are more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. The cost of cars these days. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
my next question is going to be for those folks that are out of state. I mean, you guys have an extensive experience here in Dallas. I mean, you guys are born and bled pool builders for your entire lives. So what would you give a tip for somebody, let's just say out in Oklahoma, or let's just say somebody in, I don't know, Denver that wants to build a pool? What should they be asking a pool builder? What kind of questions should they be asking?
Well,
what should they be looking for?
What's interesting is when you mention different areas of the country, it's the way that they build pools in other parts of the country can be totally different.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is I've got my two daughters live up in Arkansas, and my oldest daughter built a swimming pool back about 3-4 years ago, right after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And of course hey Dad, build me a pool, and I'm like, well, I don't know Arkansas conditions. And based upon the soil conditions and the way they build things there, I had to. I helped her, vet the builders and ask some questions. But a lot of times it's really interview your builders, make sure that you're comfortable with them, because again, you're not buying a pool. You're buying somebody to actually manage the project for you, and you want to make sure that they've got a vested interest, that they're there to look out for your best interest. And that's one of the reasons why I say the cheapest guy.
You want to feel a warm fuzzy. They're caring. They're there to help you.
Exactly. That when you pick up the phone, they're going to answer it when you call them, and that they're looking out for your best interest. Because somebody that's the cheapest guy out there, he's just clicking.
Next.
Trying to get the paycheck.
Next. Just trying to get his quick check, and he's in and out. And after you sign the contract, that might be the last time you see and hear from him.
Maybe the last time you ever won a pool.
Yeah.
Hopefully the materials show up.
Yeah. Well,
That's a great thing you brought that up, because it's almost like you're it's like you're almost marrying a contractor until the project is completed. Remember how we interviewed that builder? As soon as we started the podcast, he does construction remodeling, and the way he talked about it is like he is like, I'm married to that husband and wife until their project is fully completed. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of reminded me of you guys a little bit, because it's like you value the relationship more than the business, and the quality of work too.
Yeah, well, but in one of the reasons why we came on board with YOLO Nerd is to really enhance that customer experience, because one of the challenges that we have is obviously we're a small company, and it's really being able to make sure that we're efficiently and effectively taking care of our homeowners, and now we've got a system that we can keep an eye on what's going on the project. So me as the owner, which I'm not out in the field every day, visiting every project, but I can keep an eye on what's going on, and rather than somebody coming back and saying, "Hey, do you know what's been going on in my project?" and I got to go off and interview everybody. Hey, what's been going on in the Smiths project? Now with the technology that we're bringing in, we're really looking to really enhance that customer experience, and just to try to dazzle them with the service.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you say is the ultimate goal for Mirage Custom Pools for 2026 to 2027? What do you think is the goal?
Oh gosh.
threw
Just
that
to-
out there, didn't I?
None of my questions were on the list. Maybe some form, but
Well, it really just to really step up that customer experience to the
Okay.
next level. You know, it's really to bring it, just, you know, be that builder that really steps out and distinguishes himself from all the rest.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that's all I got, man. That was awesome.
So for anybody, like, is there like a path for journeyman? Like, I think right now a lot of people are looking for work.
Yeah.
This is something I think that's trending a lot too. People are looking for opportunities. A lot of people aren't going to college now. They're looking to get into something to work. Other than being like a hot pool boy, how do people go about?
You want to be a hot pool boy? Is that what you're trying to
It
do?
was either headshot professional or hot handyman. I was going to be more full service hot handyman.
I like how
My
you say-
tagline
I
was
like
be
how you say full
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
do the things your husband can't take care of. You know, that was the other option. My wife vetoed that one though. She didn't like that one.
You-
So, no, but for somebody who wants to get in this industry, is this something that you can even get education in home ec, or are there programs for people from high school or local, like vocational programs, or like what kind of a background do you even need? Because I mean, you're talking about also all the different subs. You've got guys that could do rebar, gunite. I mean, controlling like a excavator, digging out ditches. There's a lot of different layers from tile laying, masonry. Like, what are areas that you feel like there's a big demand for labor for work right now, and
I
how do
think-
people get started in that? I mean, how do they go out there and get connected?
My son, when he got out of high school, he went to UTI and got his welder certification.
Oh, wow.
So I would recommend that young men and young girls go out and you know, learn, you know, the trades: electrical, plumbing, welding, building things. You know, at that point, you'll never go hungry when you have a skill like that, and you've got the, you know, the drive to go out there and do it, and make it happen.
I mean, you're covering all those areas, you know, and beyond,
Absolutely.
more than that. But
Oh, yeah.
So each of these individual areas, they could go in either direction.
Right.
And electrical, I mean, I know like GC is not really in Texas, isn't that regulated, but electrical is still licensed. You have
Oh,
to
yeah,
have a licensed
absolutely.
electrician. So I know I had a electrical fire at my house where the panel was, where the main line came in. I came out there, disconnected the power. And the fire department was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" You know what I mean? I was like, "Well, I mean, either the house catch on fire or I disconnect the line." They're like, "Yeah, but that's a hot line from the main power line." I'm like, "I understand,
Yeah.
but I have a background. I used to run nuclear systems for the Navy. Like, I understand
Yeah, so
electricity.
you know
too.
electricity.
I mean, I understand. I'm going to kill myself. I'm a dumbass. You know what I mean? Yeah, I used a big piece of wood. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go grab it with my
Stand
hand.
in a bucket of water with a wet sponge. on your
Yeah,
head.
I didn't just go in there and
Grab
bang,
all
you
the
know.
electric.
Yeah, let me hang on. All right. So, yeah, but the guys were like, "No way, you didn't do that." I'm like, "Yeah, the house is catching on fire, man. Had to disconnect the line, dude. There's no breaker to break that thing off." But like electrical, like just to get the thing, I was like, had to pull a permit, had to get an certified electrician just to get the. I was like, I need to go buy a box and replace this, man, tomorrow. You know, but it was process just to get the power back on. You know,
Yeah.
So electrical is still regulated. I know roofing's not. Like GC's not real regulated, but electrical plumbing is regulated,
Now,
or
that
like
there-
what around the pool industry is and isn't regulated,
Okay,
or
so-
HVAC is. I mean, for like Freon or things
right.
is a little bit like.
Well, with the plumbing, what's interesting is if you've got a contractor coming out to do the pool plumbing, they're not required to be a licensed plumber because it's not considered potable water. It's not something where they're attaching to the city
you're not
water
Actual
system.
main line or anything. Okay,
Right,
got it,
right.
got it.
So we actually deal with two different plumbers. So we have a plumber that plumbs the hot tub and the pool and all that good stuff, and then you have your plumber that you use for the gas, to run your gas lines. They also are capable of actually hooking up into the city's water supply. So if there's a situation like, let's say, for example, we want to hook up a water line for filling the pool. Well, my pool plumber can't do that, but my gas plumber
There you go.
is
There
the
you go.
one who is licensed to do that.
They can build everything up to that point.
They cannot attach to the
They just
city
can't
water
attach it.
supply. Yes.
They got to pull a permit, and for the gas line, you got to pressure test it and things
Oh,
like that.
absolutely.
You got to make sure, yeah.
And as far as the pool plumbing, all that is kept under pressure during the entire construction process. We don't cover anything up without demonstrating pressure on the plumbing. So
Making sure it holds out.
right. So before we gunite the pool, so before we put the concrete, in the swimming pool, the city actually inspects and they require to see pressure on that plumbing and see that it's holding pressure. And then, So all during those different stages, we're keeping an eye on that and making sure that plumbing is tight. So we rarely have problems with leaks in plumbing unless a landscaper comes in and is digging around to do the landscaping around.
Run a sprinkler.
They,
whack.
they put a sharpshooter through a water line, and then you got a leak in the pool. But it's pretty rare to have a plumbing leak in a swimming pool in the absence of something like that happening.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't really think about that because a lot of times people just put their hose in their water. They just put the hose in, run it. So as long as you don't have it connected directly through a line, you just run a hose.
Yeah, no, a lot of times we'll just fill the pool through the on your hose bib. We'll actually have a fill line that goes into the back of the skimmer.
So you could flip it. But it's not still technically connected because it's not a hot line.
It's actually connected through the it's the actual hose spigot. So you're not required to be a licensed plumber. So for example, you can hook your garden hose up to it, right? You don't have to be licensed to do that. So you can definitely do that. But
interesting.
And,
now, what about outdoor showers? Do people do that much or not really? It's not that common here.
A little bit, not as much as you'd think. Yeah, there's not as
Is that
much.
more like a California thing?
I don't know. I like to shower off, but then if you don't have if the house wasn't designed where it has a bathroom with a shower that you come
pool
into,
bath,
or if in people with the master, even if they have like a sliding door that opens up in the backyard, they don't want you to go in their master bedroom.
I've seen outdoor.
For me, just to hose off. I mean, I don't know, just to rinse off.
Well, what I tell.
I grew up in Alabama. I'll get the hose out, but it's.
I hear a lot of people that say, when I get finished mowing the lawn and I'm all hot and sweaty, I'm going to go jumping in the pool. Okay, that's from a water chemistry standpoint, it's not a good deal. I tell folks, that's why in a public pool they tell you to rinse off before you get in. You rinse off to get all that impurities off you. You
better rinse it off.
Yeah. So exactly.
Oh boy.
Jump in with all your grass trimmings, your glyphosate.
Yep.
Oh man. That's all I got, man. Oh, before there is one more question I did want to ask, and this wasn't on the questions. Once you complete my pool, it's incredible, it's amazing. Let's talk about warranty. Something's gonna break, and eventually always does. How do those work? How does should I warranty my pool? Should I put insurance on it? How do
Well, a couple things. You get a 1-year warranty on all the tile and the stonework, and
there you go,
and the electrical and the pool equipment all has a 3-year warranty all the way across.
Oh wow, okay.
All the pumps and all the filter things like that.
Now, the only thing that is not covered under warranty and is damage due to soil movement, which kind of brings us back to full circle.
Yeah.
Why you want an engineer? So decks start moving. Things of that nature. That's why you want to make sure that you're consulting an engineer. And I always tell folks, beware of the pool salesperson that says, "I built a lot of pools in this area, and you don't need an engineer. You'll be fine."
Yeah, but the soil here can change across the street.
Oh yeah.
I live in Euless, and I've seen so many people. It's a neighborhood where it's shifted a lot, and luckily we've had issues with the plumbing, but I've seen so many houses you just see a huge pile of dirt because they had to dig underneath the slab, repairing water lines underneath the slab and things like that.
Get a financial team to come
and that's
fix
in the
the
house. That's not even in your pull out in the backyard.
Well, and you see,
everything shifts here so much. It's crazy.
When you go down some of the areas of town that have really active soils, and you're right, the geography throughout the Metroplex changes. Some areas are worse than others. But a lot of times, if you're driving down your road and it feels like you're in a roller coaster, or if you see sidewalks that are all shifted, that's a good sign. That's a guy. They weren't poured that way originally.
Yeah. What about big roots? We're living in our house.
Definitely big trees. You want
nasty roots.
Do you guys eliminate some of that stuff ahead of time? I mean,
it really depends. I mean, if somebody's got a fairly immature tree, which a lot of times we're building in homes that are fairly new, so the trees may be fairly new to where we can move them to another location. But occasionally you'll get a situation to where, you'll have an old growth oak or something in the backyard that, which it's really tough because things dump a lot of garbage in the pool. But at the same time, I understand, that you don't want to take out something like that. The main thing I tell folks is to minimize the intrusion in the drip line. So you have the root, the canopy of the tree. the drip line is the outer edge. Okay, so that's where the main ball is of the root system of the tree. The more you encroach inside that drip line,
that's causing
the better
issues.
the chance that you can create stress and damage to the tree. And the worst thing that you could have is have a situation to where you're trying to build everything around this big beautiful tree and then kill it.
Yeah.
And
So build your pool
and so
100 feet away from your tree.
or consult an arborist.
Yeah.
I mean, get the right people, and I think that's
people who really know.
That's really the key. I mean, whatever project you're doing, get the specialist in there. I mean, I'm not an engineer, I'm not an arborist, but I'm a pool builder. I can tell you how to build a swimming pool.
This is something I see a ton in Florida that I don't see around here, Lanai. So Florida, everyone has these screen systems. I think it's called Lanai, right? The big screen building around the backyard. It's all screened in.
Yeah.
I don't ever see it here at all. Even in Charleston, South Carolina, I would see that some.
Florida,
but Florida, I see it a
you know.
ton.
Humidity, you get a lot of bugs in those areas. Yeah, so I mean,
There's a bunch of bugs around here too, but it's not
not
the
like
demand's not here. I mean, it just isn't.
Well, there's a lot of folks will put in mosquito systems, which are pretty effective, and but we don't have the humidity here that you get in a lot of these areas when you go down to Houston or Florida or South Carolina. I mean, you get bugs there that'll carry you away. Carry away a small child, right? I mean, we have an occasional inconvenience, but the mosquito systems that are used here are typically good enough to
Keep it repelled.
Yeah, keep it repelled.
Go to my neighbor's yard and plant your eggs.
Yeah. So, but the problem with doing those screened in, I mean, it kind of prevents you from being able to do all that you can do without it, right?
Yeah.
So we can do a lot more without having to deal with the constraints of a screened in porch or screened in area.
All right, very cool.
Well, cool, man.
This has been awesome. Yeah, I learned a lot about pools and North Texas.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, of course. And now for people, if they're wanting to get a consultation with you, I'm assuming you offer a free consultation.
Yeah, free consultation.
What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Just give us a call.
I'll put it on a description, the whole deal.
Alex will put it on, but just give us a call or go onto our website, and we've got a form to fill out, and we'll give you a shout back.
Very cool.
And the initial appointments, the main thing we need is just a copy of the survey. We come out and measure and shoot elevations and get an idea of what you're looking for, and that's about a 45-minute consultation. And then what we do is we put together design and then we like to have the prospective client come out to our office so that way they can take a look at materials and look at the design. And
so you've got the showroom, you get to show everybody samples of tile to different finishes.
Yeah, different types of deck and different
fun
plaster
stuff. That's the fun
finishes.
Well, I know we're already finishing, but cool deck or things like that. Are there advances in technologies in the last 5 or 10 years of materials that are more resistant or cooler that help out? Because it does get pretty hot here.
There's some, but if you use the lighter materials, especially with what's really popular now is like the travertine paver decks. They're pretty cool on your feet. The other thing that's good about a paver deck is if you do have soil movement and the deck moves around, it's pretty easy to have it re-leveled. So. But we're doing a heck of a lot of the lighter materials, which
they don't hold as much heat.
Right.
You can step on them and walk.
Yeah, exactly. And then for the pools where they're in direct sunlight and get really, really hot during the summer, we have chillers for the water, so you can actually chill your water and make it cool and refreshing. And
what's an ideal temperature in the summer to keep it cooled off?
Well, it depends. Depends on who you are. I mean, I've got a very, very.
You keep yours at a nice crisp 50 degrees now.
No. I personally, I like the bath water. I love jumping into 95-degree water.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way, man.
I don't like the chill.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of folks that'll like 85 degrees, and that's where it'll get your attention when you first get in. But it's refreshing, is what a lot of folks say. But me, on the other hand, man. Give me the heat.
Yeah, I grew up in the Gulf. Yeah, I could be in the hot. Just go. I'm good.
Yeah. No,
even if the hot tub's at 105, I'm like, yeah, we can go a couple more. You know what I mean?
We're starting to do some more of the cool plunge
Okay.
So
Well,
a
yeah,
little small-
people
a
do
little
that for
small- yeah, yeah.
therapy. Do they have it set up where the hot tub can also be like a cold plunge or a smaller system, like a smaller cold plunge?
Actually, we've taken on a new line of products come from a company called Icelandic, and they have a cold and a hot plunge. It looks like an above ground spa, and what we've done on a few of them is we've actually built them into deck areas. So we actually build in a cedar enclosure deck area with them, and one side is hot and one side is cold.
So you do contrast therapy.
Dude, that's so
Right,
cool.
and so you can come in and do that. And so we've done that for homeowners. They still do the pool in the spa. So it's not replacing all that, but with the therapeutic benefits of the hot and cold plunges, and then we're doing some infrared saunas. So there's
So outdoor. I mean, you're doing infrared. Are you doing a typical steam or hot saunas also?
It's the infrared, yeah.
Infrared more, and then
Yeah.
That is really cool.
well, people are into that. I mean, it's feel like so much more. Even there's I see some of these little franchise things popping up. They got the infrared thing. You sit there and do yoga on a TV or
Yeah. Well,
do
they're
some
finding
kind of-
the health benefits of it. Although, me jumping into 50-degree water.
pass.
I can't
ain't
say
happening.
that I've done it before. I don't get it, but
Yeah.
I got a buddy of mine who's just dying. He's dying for me to get him one. Actually, Craig. So he's looking for one. So we'll
there
put
you
one
go.
in his yard.
That'd be awesome. I'll jump in there.
Yeah, jump in. All right. Well, we'll hit it out this summer. We'll hit some pools and yeah, I'd love to see some more of y'all's work too. I'll come out and do a site visit. You guys are doing some site visits the next couple months or yeah? On Thursday.
Wow.
All right. Cool.
That's impressive. Wow.
Get some videos.
You gotta join him on Instagram, follow him.
Yeah. Let's connect on everything.
Cool.
Well, sweet. Well, that's a wrap.
That's
Shoot.
a wrap.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do one of these. Let's go on 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.